So it's very interesting. And again, this is a hearing outside of the presence of the jury. Now, I want to bring Gigi Gonzalez to this first. Gigi, we all know that there are recordings in precincts, in cars, whatever it may be. I think a part of this is she asked for a lawyer. And for me, understanding the Miranda rules, once you ask for a lawyer, they must scrupulously abide by those rules and not allow you to be interrogated or questioned until that lawyer arrives. Now, if you voluntarily say information, it's not for the police officers to close their ears and stop listening. Now, police officers are not allowed to speak with you, to say any comments that might induce you to say something incriminating. They've got to kind of shut their mouths once you ask for a lawyer until a lawyer shows up. But it doesn't mean they have to shut their ears. Here, it sounds like they're being asked to shut their ears. And the question is, what are they shutting their ears to?
She's receiving as an officer of this department investigating her for this murder. You know, she's able to tell her side of the story without it being held against her. And Miranda rights give you the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Here, she has the right to say whatever she wants because it's not going to be used against her in a court of law. And it goes to Eklund's point that she goes from the white woman privilege to the police officer privilege, back and forth. She's got to pick one.
Yeah, Eklund, I want to bring you in about this because we're piggybacking off one of your comments. Have you ever heard of this? That audio recording devices get turned off so a suspect's information or comments are not brought in?
No, I got a DVD right now I'm trying to get rid of. Like, what is happening? What is happening? You're just gonna shut things down? And like, it makes no sense. And Gigi just made the excellent point. Like, it makes no sense. Since when do you shut things down? What are they talking about? They're concocting a plan. We wish our clients had a moment to get their things together, to get their bearings together. But no. And again, she has a higher level. She knows when she says she asked for an attorney. Then let her ask for an attorney and let the chips fall where they may with a recording. This is an obstruction of justice, and they knew that.
So, Mike, this is a curious part to me because we keep saying she asked for an attorney. And I'm hoping that our producers correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that what I heard is that she said, I already called my attorney. Now, I know you're up to date with your Miranda rules, so I'm just kind of giving it for the viewers. It has to be clear and unequivocal. I mean, we've had cases where someone says, hey man, I want my lawyer dog, and it goes up to the Supreme Court and they say, hey, maybe he asked for a dog that was a lawyer. And they said, no, that was not him invoking his rights. So saying you called your lawyer, is that clear and unequivocal that you do not want to talk without your lawyer?
You know, it's funny you say that because I just was discussing this kind of issue. A lot of that depends on law enforcement. And when I say it depends on law enforcement, I've had situations with U.S. attorneys, you know, somebody comes in, they're going to get a statement, and the person will say, I think I should talk to a lawyer. The real good ethical ones will say, yeah, you better. They'll understand that they don't even want to go down that road with whether or not it was maybe you shoulda, coulda, woulda. But here you have someone who is in law enforcement. She's surrounded by members of her own department. They all belong to the same union. They probably all have the same legal protection plan. So, you know, you're at a little bit of a heightened sense of awareness, and you're getting a little bit of special treatment. And they're going to say, well, that's exactly what she meant. And there's really who's going to challenge that? The defense isn't.
No. Interesting. Bernarda, similar question, but also, as a former prosecutor yourself, you've seen the tactics that police officers use to collect statements. Having someone in a police cell with them ask some questions in their recording devices. Keeping your body camera, which the NYPD is required to do after an arrest, all the way up until they come to the precinct. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had cases where the guy's in the back of the car saying, oh man, Brian's gonna be really pissed off when I come back with another one of these charges. I was like, dude, why would you use my name and say this? This is, no, not what to do. But they collect these statements, Rikers calls, all these other tactics. So why do a complete 180 in this situation?
The thing is that she received special treatment, Brian. She received special treatment from the very beginning, from the moment that she called 911, from the moment when the officers got there and just told her to go to the side, didn't immediately apprehend her or move her downstairs or get her away from the scene. You're contaminating the scene. Why are you still there? From that point, she also got special treatment that she's sitting in the front of the police car to get to the police station. Her apartment is not searched or pictures are not taken on that day. She still has her cell phone. In fact, because she still has her cell phone, she was able to delete many messages from her phone that the prosecution wasn't able to tell what those messages were because she got rid of those messages. And it took the state to actually wait another 2 or 3 days before they're like, you know what, Texas, it may not be the good idea for the police department where she works to investigate her. So they waited until the Texas Rangers came in, but that didn't take place until 2 or 3 days later. Again, it's about the appearance of a conflict of interest here, and they should have known that from day one, where another party should have been put in to investigate this case.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of mistakes are made here by the Dallas Police Department. And my fear, at least as a defense attorney, I understand that she committed an act that might be found guilty, but I always hate to think that her guilty verdict could be a referendum against the Dallas police officers and the way they handle this case rather than the facts of the case. That would be my fear, because I never want to see that for any defendant in a case. But we're going to continue more with this and other live trials after this break.